Running. I've pressed it. Is it running?
It's gone off.
Are you ready? Don't laugh, it'll wobble. Are we running, Alison?
We are.
We are, thank you. Hello. Welcome to my garden. Like most people in this country, I suspect, over the last few months, Alison, my wife, and I have been in lockdown. There are only the two of us here, that's why she's behind the camera. But our saviour, our salvation, has been our garden. And anybody who has the tiniest patch will have realised over this period of lockdown just how wonderful a garden can be.
Hi, Alan.
But what's really got me excited is the messages I received from people all over the country who've started growing their own food.
Fantastic beans.
Peppers, courgettes.
Loads of beetroot.
The garden is just everything to us.
Running?
So to inspire you, every week Alison and I are going to show you how we do it.
Don't plant the whole lot, just break them up. Young strawberries are beginning to appear.
And for the first time, my Love Your Garden team are opening up their gardens too, transforming them week by week from bare backyards
So I want to fill it with things that I can use in my cooking.
into living larders.
This little box here will always have something ready for us to eat.
Whether it's sweet-tasting tomatoes, luscious berries bursting with flavour, or the freshest veg straight from the ground. No matter how big or small your plot, even if it's just a pot, there couldn't be a better time to give it a go.
So join me and the team as we show you the wonderful world of growing your own.
This week, whether you're growing from seed,
Just give them a really good trench.
building your first veg plot,
Not looking bad, is it?
or giving tomatoes a try, even if you don't have a garden, we show you how to get started. There are many things I love about my garden, but there's one bit I can't be without.
OK, Alison, follow me to the veg patches.
The first rule of growing healthy produce is that you need a sunny spot and good quality earth.
We're on chalk, clay and flint here, which is not particularly good soil.
So 15 years ago I made 3 giant raised beds that I've filled with good soil.
This one here's got some herbs at this end.
And this is the heart of my fruit and veg garden.
We've got some shallots there on the inset, a row of strawberries and more strawberries on the end because the grandchildren love them.
What I want to show you today is how I grow vegetables from seed, and step 1 is to prepare the soil.
You can, in autumn and winter, work in lots of muck or garden compost. It's a bit late for that now, so if your soil is in reasonable heart, stick to this.
It's an organic fertiliser. Then I break the soil down with a fork before carefully raking it level.
Now, we're ready to sow.
You can sow many popular varieties of vegetables from late May into summer, and many will be ready to eat within a couple of months. I'm growing a row of radishes, which can be sown from March to August. One of the fastest growing vegetables you can buy, they're a great choice for the first time veg gardener.
To make my line, I'm using a garden line. You can do it with 2 bits of cane and a bit of string if you want. Push that in one end and then run it out.
This ensures you'll sow your seeds in a straight line.
And then with a cane, step on the line and flick a little tiny furrow out.
Just remember to bend your knees when you're doing it.
Why are you looking like that? You can't get up.
To give them room to grow, radish seeds need to be sown about 1 inch apart. Then pinch the soil back over and give them a good watering in.
Water's vitally important to vegetables and fruits when they're growing. If they're suddenly allowed to dry out, they'll either stop growing and die. Mrs. Tichmarsh is going to sneeze. Thank you. Right, we'll try that again.
If you don't want to grow from seed, you can buy veg plants, but check the label to make sure you space them correctly.
Give it a go, and I bet before long you'll be hooked.
However you choose to grow your own, raised beds are a simple and elegant way to add fruit and veg to any garden. In Warwickshire, our David Dominy relies on his traditional veg garden to feed his young family.
Now I've got a grow your own area at the bottom of the garden. Doesn't look pretty, but it's functional.
Now he wants to supersize it, adding 3 new areas to give him food across the whole year. Today, it's 2 new raised beds by the greenhouse.
Now I wanted something really smart and tidy at the front of the greenhouse here. They cost me about 80 quid. I rang my local garden centre, they're doing home delivery, and they dropped them off here.
This is a budget-friendly way to turn any part of the garden into a smart veg patch. First, you need to line the new beds to protect the wood from rotting. Then add multi-purpose compost. If you're having trouble getting some, be patient. Your local stockist will have it eventually. For a professional finish, David's also added an edge made from boards, into which goes a weed-proof membrane.
That's a couple down my welly.
And a layer of gravel to make the beds easier to access.
Not looking bad, is it?
Some veg, like peas and runner beans, need something to climb up, so in each bed, David's adding an obelisk. If you can't find one, any strong canes tied together will do.
The thing about peas is they need a bit of help.
Now's a great time to grow peas either from seed or, as David's doing, from young plants.
Peas tendrils here wind around the framework, and it's perfect for holding the peas up.
In the left planter, David's also adding spinach, and in the right, a row of baby carrots.
Now these are baby onions. So they'll go into fair size. You just want to make sure there's enough gap in between each one. And there we are, just to add a little bit of colour. Some violas. What I want to do is to produce a bed that's constantly giving things for the dinner table. So the lettuce, in a few weeks, we'll be able to taste those. Then the peas will grow up, and they'll be perfect, and we'll be able to crop those. Carrots will come out a little bit later in summer, and then the onions longer, whilst the fruit bushes will produce throughout the year. So this little box here will always have something ready for us to eat. Who likes blackberries?
Me.
Who's going to be watering them?
Me.
It's one thing planting your new veg garden, but to grow the best possible produce, you'll need to care for it between now and harvest time.
Throughout the season, your fruit and veg are obviously going to need water, but what plants also need is food in the form of fertiliser. Blood, bone and fish meal is a really good organic feed, and things like strawberries, well, you can scatter it among them and give them another one in June or July and water it in. Plants in pots, containers, window boxes, liquid feed does for them. That way, you'll end up, I hope, with a bumper crop.
Whether you have acres of space or a tiny patio, growing your own couldn't be easier. You can even do it indoors. In Yorkshire, our Katie Rushworth has plans to bring the edible garden into her kitchen.
I've always loved the idea of growing my own ingredients. And for what I've got in mind, you don't even need a garden.
Herb plants are easy to get hold of at this time of year, and when displayed in a box, make a perfect indoor garden. The boxes are simple to make too.
I managed to get a delivery of timber from a local merchant. If you can't get a delivery like I managed to, then you could use old pallets, or if you've got any old bits of timber left from a DIY project, then that will do.
First, Katie creates a frame using timber battens and cuts pieces for either end. Then she clads the sides, adds a hessian sack and a waterproof liner.
Now you may have noticed that I've not actually put any drainage holes in the bottom of this, so I will water sparingly.
In goes the compost and it's ready to plant.
My first box is going to be a pizza box. We love Italian food in this house, and the first thing I'm going to put in is rosemary. Now, my husband makes the most amazing pizzas from scratch, and rosemary in the oven, oh God, it just fills the house with amazing fragrance.
Next, she adds thyme, chives, and finally headily scented basil.
I've got two types. I've got this one here, which is your generic green basil from the supermarket. And then I've also got African blue basil.
But to get the party started, Kate is also creating a mini gin and tonic garden.
I do like a drink and I like a gin and tonic as well. So lots of things that are going to go in here are like botanicals.
Herbs like lemon verbena.
Just smells delicious.
Mint and fennel are perfect for flavouring cocktails. Just cut off the leaves and drop them in.
You can also, if it goes to flower, harvest the seeds and you can use the seeds in cooking.
And no gin and tonic would be complete without ice and a slice.
Well, citrus trees are notoriously difficult to grow, but I thought I'd give it another try.
Katie's adding nutrient-rich peat-free compost and slow-release fertiliser.
And that should keep it going for about 6 months before I need to feed it again. Now, during the growing season, in the summertime, you want to spray it with a liquid seaweed feed on its foliage. That will keep it nice and healthy. And water it really infrequently, hoping that this one is going to survive and be a lovely house plant inside, and I'll be able to use the beautiful lemons on it in my drinks.
With little excursions into the outdoor sun, this mouth-watering indoor herb garden is perfect for family feasts and boozy summer parties. When it comes to growing your own, in the height of summer, a garden full of tasty treats can be a feast for the eyes. As I discovered in a garden in Charlbury last summer that looks as good as it tastes.
Don't feel you've got to stick your veg beds right down the bottom of the garden. These are quite near the house because they look good. This one, packed with strawberries. This one, lovely obelisks, which can be there right the way through the winter when there's probably not much going on. Behind me, a globe artichoke. They're good looking, and also, even if it's chucking it down, because they're quite near the house, you will feel that you can come and you can pick what you need.
They've also used a cottage garden trick, combining pretty flowers with their fruit, veg and herbs.
Here at the back, a purple-leaved elder whose flowers are wonderful in elderflower cordial. Among the peonies and the tulips, we've got raspberries pushing up, rosemary, even rhubarb. So you've got here a garden which is beautiful to look at, but very useful for the kitchen. I would not pretend to you that fruit and vegetable gardens look their best in winter, because they tend to die down a bit. But if you pepper them with architecture, steel, stone, or living architecture in the form of topiary, box balls, yew pyramids, they look good right the way through the year, and you can have a bit of fun.
Whether you're devoting your entire garden to fruit and veg, or just a corner, a little space can go an awfully long way. In Folkestone, our Francis Tophill has just moved into a small terrace house.
Luckily, I'm here in lockdown with my partner, who's pretty handy with a camera, so he'll be filming me for this.
But the house comes with a tiny, narrow, L-shaped plot.
The garden itself is very, very small, so I want to make it much more colourful, much more me, and fill it with things that I can use in my cooking.
Over the next few weeks, Francis will attempt to transform this space into an edible flower garden, with not one, but 3 different grow-your-own areas, all in a 5-metre-long space. This week, she's starting with the wall.
Way too much painting.
The idea is just to create this really lovely asymmetric shelving structure that will be filled with pots full of plants.
Shelves against a warm wall are a great option if you don't have the floor space to grow your favourite edibles.
But not just any old edibles, really unusual things that I like to grow and I like to cook with. And one of my favourites for that is this. It's called Vietnamese coriander. And you can see it's got beautiful leaves, but it tastes amazing. The more you chew it, the hotter it gets in your mouth. But what you can do is you can take some cuttings, and these ones I did a week ago today, stick them just in a glass of water on the windowsill, and they root so easily.
She's also experimenting using veg from the supermarket.
Something you can grow are members of the ginger family. You can just buy a tuber like this, lay it fairly shallow in the pot, put it on a windowsill just to get it started, and then it should grow up. Now these ones have been sitting most of the winter, and you can see already they're growing really fast. So once you break that dormancy, they'll grow away, and then hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have really big ginger plants. And about 10 months to a year, the roots will start spreading and I'll be able to start harvesting. Another lovely feature against this wall is going to be some espalier fruit trees.
If you're only going to grow one tree in your new garden, make it an apple. You get stunning blossom in the spring and fruit from summer to autumn. Frances has been growing 2 compatible varieties, including this Laxton's Fortune over the winter.
And when you plant any apple, you need to remember that usually you need 2. Some are self-fertile, but I have another here, which is a heritage one, and that is called Ingrid Marie. And that one will allow this to cross-pollinate, which means hopefully this year I will get some fruits.
An espalier tree is manipulated to get the maximum amount of produce in a limited space.
If you have limbs which are down flat, then you'll find that they'll ripen a lot better. And this is a lovely sunny wall for most of the morning, so we'll have lovely ripening fruits here.
The side branches are trained along the wire, and any that grow straight out from the wall that affect the shape are removed. With some instant colour added to the base of the tree, stage 1 is complete.
So hopefully this year I will be able to pick delicious apples from my very own tree.
Whether it's in a narrow alleyway, hanging from a balcony, or even in an old skip. Such are the delights of growing your own that passionate veg growers will do it anywhere.
A lot of people were saying, oh, it's not possible, it can't be done. You immediately want to try.
Londoner Wendy Shillham does it on her roof.
It was an experiment. I didn't mind if it didn't work. I really just wanted to see what I could grow. I've got runner beans here and French beans. It is extraordinary what, a little bit of foliage does to the soul.
Ask most Brits what fruit or veg they'd like to grow, and chances are they'll say tomatoes. There's a variety to suit any taste, and I'm off to the greenhouse to show you how to get started.
It's a cathedral-like atmosphere. This is where I grow things I love. It's also my sanctuary. Sorry, dear.
You grow tomatoes from seed in February and March, so if you want to enjoy them this year, you'll need to get hold of tomato plants. They're a tender crop that needs to be kept inside, either in a greenhouse or a sunny indoor spot, until June, when you can plant them out.
3 different kinds here. Tumbler, which is a bush tomato that produces lots of bite-sized fruits. Moneymaker, a classic old cordon variety, which is a single stem. And Sun Gold, a golden tomato, still with wonderful flavour.
Most tomato plants, like this single stem variety, need support.
It will then need a stake to which it can be tied in as it grows. That can stay in a cool greenhouse, a conservatory, a very bright windowsill, inside French windows, whatever you've got, on a very sheltered balcony, but yet not outdoors until very beginning of June. You can also grow them in growing bags. This is basically a sack of compost, slit open at the top, 2 plants put inside it and 2 stakes given to them. And with any luck, we'll have some tomatoes before the end of the summer. What I really hope my team and I have done is to inspire you to get out there and get your hands in the soil.
High five.
Hands in the soil are good for the soul. And remember, if you're sowing and planting new things, whether in the veg patch or the border, they're going to need watering in dry spells, first thing in the morning or early in the evening. Over this series, I really do hope we can encourage you to get out there and grow your own.